told me I should fight back. They don't like that. Just know if you rock the boat, you better have a life raft. Woo!
What up, everyone in the YTBC? Big shout out to the UGC. When you get a chance, go to the description of this video. Check out the links to all the channels of my brothers in the UGC. And if you feel compelled to do so, please subscribe to those channels as well. Also, check out the channels under hashtag Comeback to Boxing. Same there, you know, check out my brothers there. And if you feel compelled to do so, subscribe to them as well. I wanted to go ahead and recap the fights over the weekend, or the fights that I at least want to cover. Because really, I don't want to spend too much time on this video. So let me go ahead and get into it. So, first I want to talk about Inoue versus Emmanuel Rodriguez. Sorry, I had drawn a blank. It was a very good fight for as long as it lasted. Very exciting. Wish it would have lasted longer, but Inoue just did what he does, and he made it a short night for himself and Rodriguez. You know, first round, I mean, I think I still gave it to Inoue. I heard a lot of people say that they gave it to Rodriguez. It was a close round, so I'm not mad at it either way, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, because Inoue, like I said, he didn't leave it up to the judges and didn't really leave it up to debate for any of us. He stopped Emmanuel Rodriguez. Rodriguez, I think he really impressed me. I definitely want to see him in the ring again. He's not, you know, I'm one of these fans who doesn't think you should just write off a fighter just because they suffered a loss. So definitely looking forward to seeing Rodriguez in the ring again. Inoue moves on to the finals to take on Nonito Donaire. That's going to be a good one. I have to give the edge to Inoue in that one, but we'll see when that fight happens. As far as my thoughts on Taylor versus Baranchek, it was a very good fight. I had Taylor winning by unanimous decision. That's exactly what happened. Big shout out to Champ Ross, by the way. I'm now involved in a prediction league. Champ Ross is the head of that, and you know, if you run into him and you are wanting to take part, all you got to do is give him your email. I would, if I remember, I'll put I won't do that. Just look for Champ Ross. And a good way to do that is just by going to the UGC live streams. He's always in there. You know, you'll probably see him in the comments section as well. You can offer to provide your email there. But anyways, back to these fights. And then finally, well, I guess I'll talk a little bit about Gary Russell Jr. Gary Russell Jr. looked very sharp. He did what he had to do. I feel bad for him because he really seems to want to leave a legacy at this point. I can't say that I feel that's always been his attitude, but as he gets up there in age, maybe it's hit him that he really wants to leave his mark. Better late than never. If I'm not mistaken, Gary Russell Jr. is 34 years old. You know, somewhere around there. So he's not exactly in his prime, but he is a very skilled boxer. I would like to see him get those fights that he's calling out for. We'll see what happens with Gary Russell Jr. After this. It does seem like he kind of called out Al Heyman a little bit. Very uncharacteristic of of any PBC fighter. You know, typically you get the same old, you know, thanking Al Heyman and then thanking God and then thanking everybody else after that. But that definitely was not the sentiments I got from Gary Russell Jr.'s post-fight interview. But that was very exciting to see him wearing that shirt. You know, I'm not much for WWE tactics in boxing, but I think you still should find ways to promote yourself and promote call outs other than just simply calling out a name. You know, seeing that he made shirts, you know, that's thinking a little bit outside the box. And then, you know, of course, making a statement in the ring is always good as well. So I think all Gary Russell Jr. needs to do is just stay a little bit more active and just keep doing what he's doing. And I think he'll make a case for getting those fights if he does that. On to Deontay Wilder versus Dominic Brazeale. I definitely went into that fight having Deontay Wilder winning by knockout. Deontay Wilder did win by knockout. I didn't expect him to knock out Brazeale as quickly as he did, but it is what it is. You know, he knocked out Brazeale in the first round. My take on it is that Brazeale was just a little bit, he got a little confident. If you notice, when he got backed up into the corner, he did catch Wilder with a somewhat of a rabbit punch. I don't think it was deliberate. I just think he swung wild, and that's just where it happened to land. And he did catch Wilder's attention. I'm not saying he wobbled him or he hurt him or anything, but you could tell that it definitely caught Wilder's attention. They ended up getting into a clinch a little while after that. And then when the referee broke it up, Dominic Brazeale he came in unprepared, and he got hit with a 1-2 that he just got knocked down from and couldn't get back up in time. So as far as Wilder's concerned, he definitely exceeded my expectation in the ring, and he really disappointed in his post-fight interview. You know, when going into the fight, you're talking about you want to catch a body, and you know, you made statements like, I want to paralyze this man. I want to look into his son's eyes when I do it. Just saying just the most horrendous things you could say. Or I shouldn't say the most horrendous things. I guess there's some worse things you could say. But still, this stuff is pretty cold-hearted and just not very good characteristics. But then afterwards, you want to put on your suit and tie and talk about how, you know, when you're asked about Anthony Joshua, that is, and you're talking about, you know, we got to make the most money that we can, and, you know, for all the parties involved. I'm pretty sure he's talking about his whole army of managers that he has on top of his trainers and everybody else. That's who he's talking about, needs to get paid. Of course, himself, after giving everybody their cut. You know, talking about how this is a dangerous sport. The head is not meant to get hit. Like, almost like he's given his resignation. But he's not. He's just really telling you, you have to wait. And by you have to wait, the fight may not even happen. You know, he tries to give you just enough hope that the fight is going to happen, while letting you know it may not. And of course, the fangirls are eating it all up, saying it's gonna happen. I'm not saying it's not gonna happen, but by the way he's talking, I don't see it happening next. That's for sure. I hope I'm wrong, but that's definitely how I feel about the situation right now, is that I'm not sure where we're going to see this fight. As for Brazeale, I wish I could say that he took it like a champ, but he didn't. For a couple reasons. One, he didn't do the post-fight interview. One good point that I heard somebody make is, you know, what Jim Gray said, you know, that nobody wanted to see him fight Brazeale. So he could have felt some kind of way about that. But still, you know, I don't think he should have took that personal. Jim Gray wasn't coming at it from a place of disrespect. He was coming at it a place of, you know, there is a fight that everybody wants to see, and for some reason it's not happening. You know, that was the point that Jim Gray was making. So I don't really think that is even that great of an excuse for him not to do a post-fight interview. Also, the comments that he's making about, I think the ref made, you know, stop the fight too early. The ref didn't stop the fight. Deontay Wilder stopped the fight when he stopped you, when he knocked your ass down and you didn't get up before the count. So you don't need to be blaming on the ref. You know, you got caught with something. I want to believe that if you didn't get caught, if you would have been a little bit more prepared, the fight would have went on for at least a couple more rounds. I still would have picked Deontay Wilder to knock Dominic Brazeale out, but I think Dominic Brazeale could have lasted longer than he did. That's just me. Now, with the triangle theories, and, you know, some people are just going way into their feelings, talking about, oh, Deontay Wilder knocks out Anthony Joshua in one round. Well, first off, there's plenty of guys that Deontay Wilder wasn't able to knock out in the first round. Eric Molina comes to mind. Now, the reason why I bring up Eric Molina is because Eric Molina made it to the 9th round with Deontay Wilder and actually hurt Deontay Wilder in that fight. If you want to talk about triangle theories, then you also have to acknowledge the fact that Anthony Joshua knocked out Eric Molina in the 3rd round, and he was busted for PEDs after that. So you really can't use triangle theories. I'm not saying that Anthony Joshua wins this fight because of that fact. I'm saying you can't say that Deontay Wilder is going to knock out Anthony Joshua in the 1st round based off of this fight. That's all I'm saying. As far as Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua, I kind of feel like it's more of a 50-50 fight at this point in time. Not 50-50 purse, but 50-50 as far as who is going to win that fight. I still have to give the edge to Anthony Joshua, because everything that Deontay Wilder is saying and everything that Deontay Wilder is doing is telling me that he doesn't believe in his ability. In fact, he's even now saying that he can't guarantee that he can knock out Anthony Joshua. There's a very different bronze bomber than what I'm used to hearing. So even though on paper I would say it's a 50-50 fight, after taking into account what we see in body language and behavior, I still have to give the edge to Anthony Joshua, because Anthony Joshua, he just wants to make the fight from what I can see. He's the one making the offers, and Deontay Wilder is the one turning down those offers. Deontay Wilder is the one talking all the business talk. Deontay Wilder is the one talking about how dangerous the sport is, when not that long ago he was talking about he wanted to kill somebody. So we'll see what happens. I definitely hope that I'm wrong. I definitely hope that the fight is next. I don't want to see Deontay Wilder against Luis Ortiz again. I don't want to see him against Kalnaki. I don't want to see him against Charlie Zelenoff. Like, you know, at this point, I don't even want to see him in Creed yet. Make the fight first, fight Joshua, and then I will support you in Creed. But until then, I don't even want to hear about Creed 3. All right? But those are my thoughts. Very frustrated with how we're just on the cusp of having an undisputed champion in the heavyweight division, which was always seen as like the top division in the past, just being held up because all of a sudden you have a conscience. All of a sudden, you know, you're risking your life in there. You risk your life every time you get in there. You just been doing it for a lot less money and defending one belt. You know, So, but we'll see what happens. Feel free to leave a comment. Tell me what you think about the whole situation, or what you thought about any of these fights. I definitely think DAZN had the stronger card this weekend. I felt like it was more competitive, I would say, with the two fights for or the main and co-main event on Showtime's card. You could basically pick the winner from a mile away on both of those. But so I definitely think DAZN had a more competitive card. But y'all let me know what y'all think about the cards, what you think about the whole heavyweight situation. Just so you know, most mornings you can catch me on the UGC boxing channel, talking on we basically got a little podcast going on over there. Like I said, check out all those channels. Definitely check out Jay Cotto and Boxing Junkie on hashtag Comeback to Boxing. To all my subscribers, anybody who watches my videos, or if you just so happen to stump on this video, hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. Peace.
Undefeated.